When trying to choose a pre-workout, it's very hard because different pre-workouts give you different effects, and different pre-workouts have different intentions. So when it comes to people trying pre-workouts, sometimes it may be too strong for them, or sometimes they need something that's a little stronger, with a more supplementation in them. Maybe a little higher dosage on caffeine, a little higher dosage on beta alanine, higher dosage on citrulline. It really just depends on your preference. So today in this video, I'll be breaking down my top five, or top, my favorite uh, top five ingredients that I like to see in a pre-workout. I personally have been, I've been, I didn't, I've been an athlete for all my life. I played soccer for about, I would say, a good majority of my life. But recently I've switched over to weightlifting. I'm not professional or anything, but I do it, I guess you can say, as a recreational enjoyment. Um, so I've been using pre workouts for quite a while right now, for some time. I would say for about 5 or 6 years. I've been using pre workouts. And the first pre workout I ever used was C4. And at the time when I first used it, since it was the first time I ever used a pre workout, I thought it was the best thing in the world. I thought it was the most strongest and hard hitting pre workout in the world. But you build a tolerance when you use it for a while. And then I started adventuring and doing more, trying out more different pre workouts. And I've tried about, I would say maybe about 15 different pre workouts. And some are better than others. Some I would have to take double the dosage. So if a serving size was 1 scoop, I would have to take two sometimes because the pre workout just wasn't strong enough for me. And after realizing and seeing that different pre workouts had different ingredients in them, I figured that there were some things that I liked to see in pre workouts that some pre workouts didn't have. And then there were some dosages of ingredients in the pre workout that I liked that some pre workouts didn't have. So in this video today, I'll be breaking down the top five ingredients that I think every pre workout should have. And I think that these ingredients will help you in your bodybuilding journey. If even if it's not for bodybuilding, this will help you in whatever sport that you may be doing, whether that's soccer, football, or basketball. So yeah, for number one or number five, we have BCAAs. Many people may know what this is, but this is BCAAs are known is known as a branched chain amino acid. It consists of three of the 20 amino acids that is in our body, and these BCAAs you can find in protein-rich food like meat or dairy. Um, and they're, like I said, it's three of the 20 amino acids, and these three amino acids are leucine, isoleucine, and valine, or valine, however you want to pronounce that. Now, these BCAAs have been known to decrease muscle soreness and relieving tiredness from exercise and improving liver health. Um, as well as specifically, leucine has been seen to stimulate muscle growth when used. Personally, I used to have I used to take BCAAs, not with a pre-workout, like not with a pre-workout that had BCAAs in it, but I would take like I would buy a BCAA supplement by itself, and I would take that and mix it with the pre-workout, whichever pre-workout I was using at the time. Personally, BCAAs to me gave me more strength. When I did it, it could have been 1 to 2 reps on whatever heavy max that I was doing. But to me, I felt that BCAAs were very helpful for me in when I was bodybuilding. Now, specifically, I don't know or I'm not gonna go over the chemistry of it and how it reacts and what reactions and pathways that BCAAs help or do in your body. I'll cover that in another video if you want to see. But from what I've seen and my experience with BCAAs, it's pretty good. I would recommend it to use when you're weightlifting or going through any intense exercise. I know exercising when you're young can be very stressful on you and can leave you tired. So if you ever decide to take a pre-workout or want to take supplementation to help you with your exercise or sports, I would recommend BCAAs. It's very helpful, like I said, and it just helps you push to that last, set that you're going through, whether it's running or lifting weights. The recommended dosage is 5 to 10 grams a day. Personally, I think I was doing 3 grams when I would do it. I would take it one day on and one day off to keep my receptors fresh because I think if you take it too many times, your receptors will get full, and then you need more dosages, and your tolerance increases. So I used to supplement it like that. I would take it one day on and one day off when I would take it. Number 4 on the list is another one of my favorites. It's taurine. Taurine is another amino acid, and this is found to be concentrated in your brain, heart, and muscles. Is known as an effective stimulant similar to caffeine, but it's also known to inhibit excitatory neurons in the brain, which results in it actually being a relaxant. So, yeah, at first when you take it, it'll give you that jittery and exciting effect when you take it. But after a while, like I said before, it gives you that relaxing effect. So you don't want to mix this with crashing like happens to some people when they take caffeine, because this is not crashing. This relaxing feeling is because of the inhibition of the excitatory neurons in your brain that give you that relaxing feeling. Um, your body is able to produce it on its own, and dispense it from is it's able to and is able to get it from consumed foods that you eat, such as meat and fish. Um, with stronger dosages, taurine has actually been seen in Red Bull. If any of you guys have ever drinking Red Bull, there's a strong dose in taurine. I think it's 1,000 milligrams per 25 milliliters a can. And research and um, scientists suggest that the combination of taurine with caffeine is able to give you an enhanced alertness and awareness. It's important to note that with taurine and the mixture of taurine and caffeine with together when taken together, it helps stabilize hydration and proper electrolyte balances within your cells. So if you are one person who sweats a lot or suffer from cramping when working out, taurine is a good supplement to help not suffer from low electrolyte imbalances or levels whenever you sweat a lot, because when you sweat you lose electrolytes. Um, it's also been shown to regulate certain minerals in your body like calcium, zinc, and iron, which in turn helps reduce muscular fatigue and helps support thermal regulation of your body during exercise. In a study that was done, this was given taurine was given to athletes, and it showed that they experienced less muscular fatigue and increased in force. They had an increase in forces and production of muscle in muscle. Um, Personally, I have never used taurine individually, like with branching amino acids, but I have used a pre workout that did contain taurine, and it was very good. I liked it. It's very hard to tell the exact effects of each individual ingredient in a pre workout when some pre workouts have the proprietary blend, which doesn't give an exact dosage of each ingredient that's in it, and it doesn't say every single ingredient that this pre workout has. And some pre workouts that do have their ingredients labeled have up to like 10 to 15 ingredients. So, it's very hard to see, hey, how exactly it's taurine or citrulline or BCAAs, how is that, can I feel the effects of it? But overall, I would say this is a good supplement to take or have in your pre workout if you decide to go ahead and use a pre workout. Number three on my list, I would say, is citrulline malate, also known as L-citrulline. Um, L-citrulline is similar to BCAAs, that it's an amino acid. It's known to produce a chemical known as nitric acid. Um, and how this is done is once you digest L-citrulline, it turns the L-citrulline into L-arginine by your kidneys. And when this is done, this in turn increases nitric oxide synthesis in your body, which is also known to increase plasma levels of ornithine and arginine, uh, which are both known to increase growth hormone levels and insulin like growth factors in your body. So, if you don't know exactly what that means, a lot of bodybuilders nowadays will take GH and insulin. If you don't know, GH is human growth hormone. And the reason why is because people will take human growth hormone, a shot of IU of human growth hormone. The bodybuilders will take it, and maybe 10 to 15 minutes after that, they'll take insulin. So, what this does is the insulin actually pushes the growth hormone protein that are the growth hormone chemical that's binded to the receptor. The insulin pushes the growth hormone out of the receptor, and it allows for more growth hormone to attach to the receptors, thus giving you a better, kind of like not really a double dosage, but it gives you a more effective and higher dosage of whatever IU you're taking. So you'll see that L-citrulline kind of does that, but in the form of the nitric oxide synthesis. Another thing that L-citrulline does is it helps you burn body fat. Research shows that L-citrulline also helps improve the ammonia recycling process and nitric oxide metabolism, as I stated before. Overall, I think citrulline malate helps you increase the synthesis of nitric oxide in your body, which in turn theoretically helps improve nitric oxide production. And with an increase in nitric oxide, you can see an increase in vasodilation, mitochondrial respiration, and calcium level regulation, and glucose uptake. Which, with all these, things going on in your body due to the, consumption of L-citrulline, these all lead to improvement in circulatory health and muscle function, and it reduces muscle fatigueness as well. So this is another one of my favorite supplements to have in my pre-workout. I think at GNC or of the Vitamin Shop, they sell L-citrulline as a separate supplement. Like you can buy a bottle of L-citrulline. So I think it proves, or the at least research scientists know, that this is one of the biggest or most effective ingredients that one can have or buy if they're selling it by itself. So yeah, this is another one of my favorite ingredients that I like to see when I'm using a pre-workout, or if I'm gonna go to the gym. This is one thing that I'm definitely gonna take before, to help me not only uh, put in more reps when I'm doing a workout, but it just helps your overall respiration, and you're able to improve your um, circulatory health. Different scientists and research suggest different milligrams, but I would say the average is 2,000 milligrams of citrulline 3 times a day with meals. Or if you're working out, maybe up to 3,000 milligrams of citrulline for your work before your workout. It just depends on what you do. Now, the last two on this top five list. One of them is less known, and I'll get to that um, when I get to that, which is the number one spot. But number two is a very famous one. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about, and it's a very I wouldn't say underrated because it's very well known, but it's a very, this is one thing, if I could choose, like, three ingredients to have when I'm having a workout, to have in my pre-workout, it would be, this would be one of them, and that is creatine. Everyone's hopping on the creatine trend, and there's a reason why. So if you don't know what creatine is, this is one of the most popular supplements amongst bodybuilders. This was popularized because of its efficiency in increasing muscle mass, strength and exercise performance. Some additional effects of creatine includes lowering blood sugar levels and improving brain function. Chemically, creatine is known to be like an amino acid in helping your body build protein. It works by increasing the phosphocreatine stores in your muscles, and with an increase of additional amount of stores in your body, you're able to increase ATP production, which is basically energy in your body. And one of its best benefits is seen by seeing that when creatine, when you consume it in your body, research has shown that it lowers myostatin levels, which allows you to build more muscle. Um, and it's also with a lower amount of myostatin. This allows you to do more reps easier when you're exercising. Um, if you don't know what myostatin is it's a chemical in your body that it inhibits the growth of muscles in your body. I don't know if any of you know, but if you look up myostatin deficient cows, those are the big muscular cows that are just huge. Those big muscle cows. Those are myostatin deficient cows, and what they are is basically they don't have the myostatin chemical in their body, so they just keep growing. So with creatine, at a certain when you take it for a certain amount of time, it'll help you not produce myostatin. Therefore, you can grow more muscle. It should be noted though that there's two types of creatine in the market. There's creatine hydrochloric acid, or HCl, and creatine monohydrate. I'm not sure. I've taken creatine a lot before. I'm not really sure which one I took because at the time I wasn't really paying attention to which type I took. But I believe if I had to take a good guess, it would be monohydrate because creatine monohydrate is the more popular creatine that's available in the market. It's typically made with the creatine molecule plus a water molecule. Some manufacturers may use micronized creatine, which processes the supplement's solubility better. I personally, when I took creatine, from my personal experience, I did feel a lot stronger. It did feel like I was taking something that I shouldn't be taking because of the amount of reps that I was doing more than I usually have. And It gave me a watery effect. Like I felt really bloated. I don't know exactly why it does this, or maybe it's just me and how my body reacts to it. But creatine gave me like a bloated effect, kind of like I looked a lot more bloated when I took creatine, and it held water a lot more. And when you take creatine, you'll notice that your muscles are feeling a lot stronger and bigger, and you're pumped a lot more when you take it. But it does indeed help you. It's not just a placebo effect. It's not just like you're pumping nonsense into your body. Like creatine actually works. Yeah, so that's one of the ingredients that I would include in my pre-workout. I know some pre-workouts have it in their like ingredients, but I think it's very hard to find from what I've seen. A lot of times creatine is sold separately, but yeah, dosage wise, I believe you can take up to like 600 to 1,000 milligrams of creatine when you work out. And I think you'll still feel the effects of it. It really just depends, like I said, on your tolerance and how you handle it. So yeah, and then for the number one list, this is one of my favorite pre-workouts of all time. But there's a lot of debate with it, and that pre-workout ingredient that I have in my number one spot is called DMHA. Some of you may have heard of DMAA, which it was recently banned by the FDA and considered illegal to have in supplementation or to sell. And DMHA is a synthetic derivative of DMAA. Now, DMHA is not illegal from what I've seen and the research I've done online. It is not yet illegal, so you're free to use it as you wish. But I used a pre-workout one time, which I will do a video on that specific pre-workout because of how great it was. It was one of the best pre-workouts I have ever done in my life, and I think it is the best pre-workout I've ever done in my life. And it contained both DMAA and DMHA. But because of the legality, I will only include DMHA because it's still legal. So DMHA, like I said, is a derivative of DMAA. It's known as dimethylhexamine or octodrine, and it offers similar effects to DMAA as it boosts energy levels, focus, concentration, and it's known as an appetite suppression as well, which I can attest to that. That is true. Studies have shown that the consumption of DMHA acts as a bronchodilator, which widens your bronchi in your lungs, allowing more airflow. Another study shows that it had decongestant effects, which constricts your blood vessels, allowing for decreased swelling and allowing you to breathe better. And it also acted as a very good, like I said, appetite suppressant. One lesser known fact is that DMHA gives a euphoric feeling caused when the DMHA molecule binds to the trace amine associated receptor 1. This in turn prevents the process of dopamine and norepinephrine into the presynaptic nerve. And what happens, this allows for these chemicals to stay active longer in your body and create that euphoric feeling. Personally, when I took this pre-workout that had both DMHA and DMA, the feeling was great. This pre-workout was indeed very strong. If you're a first-time user, I would not recommend this pre-workout. So when you take when you take DMHA, research and studies have been done for like a safe dosage. Usually a dosage for a person when taking this would be 1 milligram of DMHA for every kilogram of your body weight. So taking 30 to 60 minutes before your workout. So if you weighed, I don't know, 100 kilograms, 100 kilograms is about 220 pounds. So that would be 100 milligrams. If you weighed 100 kilograms, that's 220 pounds. So you would have to take 100 milligrams of DMHA. So yeah, the dosage I took was about 200 milligrams. And that's not saying I'm 200 kilograms, but my tolerance is a little higher. So that's how much I was taking. But like I said, it depends on how much tolerance and what your body can handle. So yeah, those were my 5 favorite ingredients in a pre-workout. But these are just overall some of the supplements / ingredients that I personally like to use when I work out, especially when I weightlift. There's definitely a lot more that out there that are, I guess you can say, more effective or better, depending on a person. But these are just some of my favorite ones. I'm going to be doing reviews on some pre-workouts that I have tried and give my honest opinion on them. And if there's any other supplement, pre-workout, or ingredient out there that you know that you want me to review and do research on, let me know in the comments. So yeah, enjoy. Consider subscribing if you're new. Leave a like and share, and leave your opinions on anything I said. Thanks.